Chris here. So I want to give you a little bit of a secret to the success of growing any business and any sales, right? So I just finished the Bay Run here in Sydney, Australia. It's currently about 8:47 a.m. on Monday morning, and I'm reading a book at the moment. I do a lot of audiobooks. I'm reading a book by I think it's Stephen Pressinger. He's the guy that wrote The War of Art. Amazing book. But I'm reading his follow-up book to The War of Art called Turning Pro. Fantastic book. Essentially, the whole backstory of it is that the differentiate between a person who is a professional and a person who's an amateur is the resistance between the two, and actually fighting that resistance every single day at the same time. When you do choose to fight that resistance, you find yourself in a position where you will probably be the one who will actually, conquer the game of business and grow into the version of yourself that you want to be, whatever that may be. You might be in sales right now, but you want to be a writer. You might do whatever the hell you're doing right now, but you're not doing it to the actual, to the utmost degree that you could be right now. And that's the problem that we currently face as humans, not necessarily just as salespeople, but as humans in the human race. If we don't actually choose to turn professional, we will very, very slowly die in our own rights, because the challenge is, if you aren't moving forward, you are staying stagnant. When you stay stagnant, you start to actually fester on so many different things. But what I heard in the book just then that was more interesting to me than even that was the fact that what actually turns amateur to a pro, and bearing that resistance in the middle there, is actually just a really simple methodology of just like I'm sitting out the front of a football field, right? And I had no idea that was going to happen, but it's a perfect segue, and I'm really glad that was the case. Sitting outside, I don't know what football field this is, but I'm sitting outside it right now. And the best professional athletes out there do not wait until they feel 100% to go and play again. Yes, they do everything they can to make sure that they are in a position that they actually have the best recovery and all the best, supplements and recovery protocols that might actually make them a better performer in time. However, the magic actually begins when they choose to play hurt. Now, the best out there, Michael Jordans, the LeBron Jameses, the Cristiano Ronaldos, all the top of the top in the world, they will still get on the field and play hurt no matter what the differences are in their world right there. Where most people generally tend to fail in the journey of becoming a professional from an amateur is they choose not to play hurt, and then they take days off, and then they find themselves in a position where they don't actually, progress, because they've left too many days in between task 1 and task 2. They lose their motivation, they lose their flow, and they don't actually ever beat that resistance that turns them or bridges that gap from the amateur lifestyle to that of a professional. And that was really interesting to me, and I just thought I really needed to share that with you, because every day you have a choice to either be an amateur or a professional, whereas the professional doesn't have a choice. They just choose to play. If they're hurt, they play anyway, and if they aren't hurt, they play, and they play better. The difference between the mindset of the amateur and the professional is probably that of choosing to progress even when you don't feel like it some days. And my goal is to actually employ that little bit of wisdom within you. So hopefully today, when you go and decide to actually, embark on whatever task it is you're doing today, the prospecting or calling up old leads to close them into whatever your product or service is right now, it might be marketing, whatever it might be. I want you to play hurt, even if you don't feel the best right now. The worst that can happen is at least you tried, and the law of energy and attraction, truly, it's a true thing. I'm a bit of a spiritual buff sometimes, but the law of energy and attraction is a true thing. And if you just put the effort and energy into actually trying something, the worst that can happen is you realize that it didn't work, and you can try again tomorrow and do something different to make sure that, I think some of the biggest successes I've had have come from knowing what doesn't work. And if you don't know what doesn't work, there's a higher probability that you're in a position that you haven't tried enough just now, and you're not bridging the gap from becoming the amateur to the professional at the same time too. Now, I'm coming up to 4 minutes and 36 seconds in this video right now. I didn't really want to go too much over 5 minutes, because I really do want to make this short, sharp, and sweet for you. However, I truly do want you to buy into the magic of actually, you know, playing hurt today and find a way to actually bridge the gap from amateur to professional. And I think that's one of the best ways you can do that at the same time too. Like I said, the worst that can happen right now is you can just choose to give it a crack and see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, then you know what doesn't work. So when you try again tomorrow and try, even whether you're playing whoever it might be, you know not to try that way again, and you can try a way that may work. And that might be the one thing you need to actually become the professional that you choose to be at the same time too. It could grievous, whatever the hell it is. But I want you today to go and choose to become pro. If there's any way I can help, obviously reach out. I'll leave a couple ways I can do that around the page, wherever they are in here. But I'm about to go and call some leads myself because we need to close some business today too. And I want you to do the exact same, okay? So the amateur chooses not to do anything and chooses to fall into the resistance of fear. And the professional is the one that plays hurt no matter what day it is and no matter what's happening outside the room of their own world too. So again, have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, peace.